Hi everybody! We're going to talk quickly about some simple strategies for frame-by-frame animation. So here's my little mini frame-by-frame animation. Here's what it looks like when it's exported. And we'll just talk through how I did this, and you can think of ways to apply it to your animation. Okay, so if I shut down this layer here, which is going to be like the light ray that goes behind the circle. Sorry about my typo. Lots of typos right now. There we go. You can see here that all I did was put a green circle with some yellowy orange filters and just used classic tweens to make it travel in a little bit of a arced path across the screen. You could do that with any of the strategies that we've learned in Animate, whatever you might like. You'll notice that the glow gets a little more intense as it goes along too. And with that, if you want to learn how to do the glow, you need to watch the tutorial on filters. Okay, so that's done. And I'm going to just move it a little bit farther along so I can show you how I did it. Add a classic tween, and then I'm going to pick it up and move it a little farther. And then I'll also make sure my black background is also coming along a little farther as well. Okay, so there we go. Now I need to add the little light ray that's going behind it. So essentially all you do with frame-by-frame animation, I can see a little spot where it's broken, is that you draw in, you change something every time in every single frame. So the way that Animate works is when you use tweens between frame 1 and 7 in this case, when I add a classic tween, Animate does all the animation of the ball moving between those two spaces. It does all the frames in betweens. That's why they're called tweens. They're making the in-betweens. If you want to do something that's a little more creative and allows you a little more freedom, you can do frame-by-frame animation and draw in every single frame. So you can see down here, these are all keyframes, and in every single case I've drawn something in. So here I've obviously missed a little bit of a gap, and I'm going to need to fill it. I'm going to grab the eyedropper tool to get the exact same color of blue, and then I've got my brush, and I can fill in. Oh yes, you should definitely make sure that your layers are not locked when you're working. And I can fill in this little space so that it's not going to show. Okay, we'll go a little farther along the line. Alright, so here I am, and when I get past this point, my little light ray that I've been drawing disappears when I get here. So I'm going to insert a keyframe, which will copy the exact frame before, and you can see that the ball actually hasn't moved far along enough for me to need to draw anything. But because it's supposed to still be moving, I could just go in and erase a little bit off the tail. I'm going to insert another keyframe. Now I'm starting to get a little bit more of an opportunity to draw something in at the front, but it's not entirely necessary yet. Now I'm going to insert another keyframe. There we go, more of a gap. Take a little more off the end. Grab the brush. I need the eyedropper again. Great. And got the right color. And in this keyframe, I'm just going to draw a little bit more so it doesn't get too separated. Insert a keyframe. There we go. We've got lots of room now. And I'm just using a simple brush. You can change the shape of your brush to whatever you might want it to be, or the size of it here. Again, I'm just trying to do something super fast for you. Now I'm going to erase a little bit off the end. Keep on cruising. And remember, I'm trying to be efficient, so in the next one, I'm going to use the eraser first. Then grab the brush, which already has the correct color, then do my little squiggly lines so it looks like it's kind of sparking, and add a new keyframe. Now I've got the paintbrush, so I'll add the little squiggly line in now. Then maybe if I still want to, I'll go and do a little bit of an eraser at the end. Now we're almost at the end. Insert a keyframe. Got my eraser, get rid of a little bit more, and paint in something else in here. Great. You'll notice that my paint never goes on top of the circle, and that's simply because the circle is above that layer. Okay, so now as it goes along, it moves with it because I've drawn everything in frame by frame. These little pieces that are exploding out here, those are little brush strokes that I put in, and then every time I made a keyframe, I simply picked up and moved the brush stroke using the sub selection tool. So if you're in one of these frames, you can pick it up. You can see all these little things that pop up. You can pick it up and move it along a little bit. Exactly the same concept as what we just did with the paint, moving things frame by frame. Okay, so that makes it move across the screen. Okay, so you can also just pick things up and move them how you might want, but in that case you could also use classic tweens too. So let's watch it. There you go, a simple frame by frame animation. Think of an interesting way to apply that to your movie and have fun with it.